Hey everybody, this is Cobra C Capshaw / at Mr. Smiles a Lot. How you guys doing today? I know it's been a long time since I've been on social media, besides posting pictures and things like that of my birthday and having my very first Father's Day with my son, which I'm very excited about. Obviously my excuse always is, oh, I'm busy with work. Well, that's true, but also taking care of a 5-month-old is also true as well. So anyway, today's video going to be about more of, I would say, a video podcast, and it's going to be about why mental health matters. And as you guys have seen on my social media, for those of you who are on my Facebook and follow my Instagram as well, I have a End the Stigma mental health awareness shirt by the Till Valhalla t-shirt brand and brand on Facebook. And what they are is that they are a brand that supports fallen veterans or veterans who have come back from war and things of that nature. And as you know, my father or stepfather, John Ray, he was a Green Beret Vietnam War vet. And the thing is that, the reason I got the shirt was in remembrance of him, and also because I do feel like mental health is very important. And, sure, mental health awareness month was last month, but in my opinion, I feel like every month should be mental health awareness month, because let's be honest, mental health is important. People don't talk about it enough. This might sound weird to say, but I feel like people focus more on physical health. Yes, I mean, sure, working out does make you feel mentally better, obviously, but there are certain things I feel like that you might not be able to get over. And I guess you could say a good example of me would be a trauma in my life would be, well, speaking of my father, my stepfather, him, getting frontal lobe dementia and passing away at such a young age, only 55, when I was going into my sophomore year of high school, and seeing the intelligent man that he was, and then seeing his intelligence get robbed of him, that was extremely unfair to me. So, because of traumas like that, and whenever it started, I started seeing a therapist. Her name is Connie Jones. And Connie, I'm going to send you the link to this video, but I just want to say thank you so much for all of your help. I appreciate it. You've been amazing. I would love to actually maybe one day get another meeting with you and catch up and say what's up to you. And anyway, so, but no, I would love to see you again and tell you how things have been going. But because of her, I was able to hurdle over my, mental health of being always sad and depressed, not knowing where to go, and not knowing which direction to take my depression, my sadness, and my anger, because of the fact of I didn't know what to do with my father's sickness, because frontal lobe dementia, basically Alzheimer's, there's literally nothing you can do. You just have to sit there day by day and take it in, and then try to take care of them as best as you can until they have to go into a home, and then, that faithful day of when they, go up into heaven and meet God, And Father's Day was hard for me because of the fact that he wasn't there to, meet my son, or, it's hard for me because of the fact that he wasn't there to be there for my wedding, or, just be there for their family events and things like that. But to me, that's okay, because I'm glad to have gotten to know the man of who he was while he was around. And I'm very glad that he was in my life when he was. I'm glad he was in my mother's life. And if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have gotten to know, the amazing wife that he's married to before, Terry Ray, who's also my mom's really good friend now. And if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have my amazing stepbrother that I love with all my heart, Kevin. So, because of Kevin and Terry, in a way that also helped my mental health hurdles, and it helped me stay connected with John in a way, because they're still here. Kevin's here, Terry's here. You know what I'm saying? And if it weren't for them, they wouldn't help. They also helped me, get their because think about it, John was my stepbrother's actual dad. So us living together, us going through it together, us talking and consoling one another, having good cries together, hugging it out when we needed to hug it out, things like that. That's exactly what we did, because if that's what we needed to do, guess what? We were brothers and we loved one another. So that's what we did. Is that we did hug it out, and cried it out. So, you know, again, people need to take into account how important mental health is, and I don't think that they do. So today, in this video podcast, I don't know how long exactly we're going to go, but speaking of your mental health, what we're going to do on this video today is that we're going to look up, which I already have pulled up here on my laptop, different examples of mental health examples and why they're important. You know, kind of like how I told you my examples, but different examples from the internet. So mental health includes our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. It affects how we think, feel, and act. It also helps determine how we handle stress, relate to others, and make healthy choices. Mental health is important at every stage of life, from childhood and adolescence through childhood, which is extremely true. So this is from the beginning of cdc.gov, mental health. All right, so let's see what they have to say. What is mental health? So, like I said, I give my own examples, or I can give the best of my own examples, but remember, I'm no scientist, I'm no doctor, I'm no psychiatrist, or, and I don't have a degree in psychology, but I do know about, personally, I feel like I know a lot about psychology and body language and how to approach people. We've been through all that, like talk before, but I'm not an expert, so let's see what the experts do have to say. So, let's see. Mental health includes our emotional, psychological that's what I just read, right? Okay, sorry. So, although the terms are often used interchangeably, poor mental health and mental illness are not the same. A person can experience poor mental health and not be diagnosed with a mental illness. True. Okay. So likewise, a person diagnosed with mental illness can experience periods of psychological, mental, and social well-being. Interesting. Okay, so why is mental health important for overall health? Overall health, pardon me. Mental and physical health are equally important components of our overall health. For example, depression increases the risk for many types of physical health problems, partially long-lasting conditions like diabetes, oh my goodness, heart disease, and stroke. See, I think I remember I read that somewhere a while ago, but I don't remember exactly. But I think I remember hearing about that or reading that again. Similarly, I can't say that right. Oh my goodness, let's do this. Similarly, we'll get back to that. The presence of chronic conditions can increase the risk of mental illness. All right, so jeez, that's scary. Yeah, that's true, because I feel like those people who aren't able to have a way to talk to someone or get it off the chest of what they're trying to get off their chest, or have a way of have an outlet. I do feel like that can cause you to mentally, I don't want to say lose it over time, but I do agree with that 100%. Just like, how the beginning part says, periods of physical, mental, and social well-being. So, I guess you could say, for me, when I was getting bullied in high school, alright, if I'm being honest, when I was going through my dad's stuff, when I was just going through personal things, I guess I was at maybe a risk for a mental, maybe mental illness of maybe permanently being sad, because that happens to people, or permanently being depressed, that happens to people as well. Or maybe just, maybe that's where my stress eating came into play, and maybe that's when I would have this, maybe that's how I got to 310, and then my doctor said, you're at risk for getting diabetes, and you're at risk for, having a stroke and heart attack and, death. And then, maybe, and then, basically you're saying I risk for heart disease. And it even says right here, stroke. So in a way, I can relate with that a lot. And, just overeating, and then, being stressed out. And then I guess you could say personal things made me want to overeat. Like my father, maybe bad relationships, uh, something bad that happened during the day, things like that. But once I got more in control, and once I started talking to a therapist, once I actually opened up to friends, and then opened up to my wife and people like that, my family and things like that, and like went to people that I knew wouldn't really judge me, and was open about how I was feeling and things like that, then I knew I was getting better because they actually listened and gave me great advice. And if it weren't for them, I wouldn't be in the place I am. So thank you very much. Again, love you all. So, can your mental health change over time? Oh, I definitely think. Well, of course. And let me say something about this really quick. Yes, it can. But don't let anyone ever tell you to get over something that you hold near and dear to your heart, or that you find traumatic, or that you have a right to feel about. You know what I'm saying? So, like, this one time, I won't say who, but there was this person who I opened up to about, and I thought was a good friend. And I said, I was crying one night, to be honest with you. And I was like talking about my dad, and then she was like, "You really gotta let it go." And then she was like, and I understand that when she said you gotta let it go, or let him, or like let the thought go, she meant it in the best way possible, with the best intentions. And I didn't take any offense to it because I know she wasn't trying to be offensive or trying to be mean about it. But I will say, though, that at the time I took offense to it because I was like, how could I let something as traumatic as what I went through with him go? Or how could I let that, like, mentally erase out of my mind? But I didn't think at the time she did mean it with the best of intentions. So, again, I apologize for taking it the wrong way, but I wasn't in the right state of mind at the time because, that was a while back that it happened. His, death to me was still pretty fresh in my mind. But, clearly I'm a lot better now. But like I said, like if there's certain things that are traumatic or that you hold near to your heart, don't let anyone say you need to get over it. But my advice to you personally is find avenues to where you can get mentally better and mentally healthier, It's not easy. Like I said, certain things you may never get over. I will never get over what I went through with him. I will never get over his death. I will never get over, maybe losing certain, like, friends. I don't mean, like, death-wise, necessarily. I mean just, like, losing them, through certain circumstances or whatever, that can take a mental health toll on you as well, things of that nature. But let's get back to what their example is. So, yes, it's important to remember that a person's mental health can change over time depending on many factors. When the demands placed on a person exceed their resources for coping abilities, resources and not resources for. Well, I guess you could say it could be for coping abilities as well. Their mental health could be impacted. For example, if someone is working long hours, caring for a relative, little one, or experiencing economic hardship, well, everyone is nowadays, including me, everyone, they may experience poor mental health. So, I guess you could say, for me, I guess only poor mental health, it doesn't actually really have to do when I stop people from trying to steal or panhandle or things of that nature. It actually does have to do with like the long hours of my body just being sore and hurting from work, and that it does have to do a lot with that, believe it or not. And just like the long hours, just being on my feet, or heck, even when I'm doing vehicle patrol and just being in my car, just like 8 or 12 hours almost every day. I guess you could say the poor mental health of it is just being tired, fatigued, stressed, maybe a little bit angry from being tired, fatigued, and stressed. But I guess the most important thing is remember to not take that out on other people, especially when they don't deserve it. Just because you had a long day or a hard day, or like if you've dealt with a bunch of BS, you got to think about the things that make you happy, the good things that you get to, go home to. Like whenever I see my wife or I see my little guy and see the smile on their face, and then just the love that I get from them. That's what makes the difference. So yes, your mental health can change over time. There are certain things you can get over. Like, I got over my bullying in high school. The thing is that it wasn't easy, but it made me want to become a better person. It made me realize that I don't want to be anything like them. I want to keep being the nice, silly, goofy, quippy, Chandler-like humorous, dry, quippy humor guy that I am. And I would rather keep being me and not, be anything like them. And if anything, this might sound weird, but, yeah, mentally, what I went through with them did not help me, especially not with my mental health. But they kind of, now I'm not saying that I value, what they did for me, but what I'm saying is that if it weren't for them, in a way, I wouldn't be who I am. So, because of them, yeah, my drive was to become a better person. My drive was to become stronger, to work out more, to, take my health more seriously, to start my own business, to become more serious in martial arts, and at the time, yes, was it to maybe prove them wrong, but guess what, now I don't care. Like, yes, there was the fuel for them. I mean, like, I used their fuel, of my fire against them in my own way to make me better, so in a way, they made me, in a way, kind of who I am, but am I giving them praise? Am I thanking them? No, not at all. But now I'm just doing it just to keep doing it. And I'm not saying, oh, no, I'm doing it because I have to keep proving myself and blah, 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 because I'm not trying to stoop to their level or be like them. But anyway, we're trying to be nice. Again, we're not trying to be mean. So, but what I'm saying is that mental health can change over time. Like, honestly, all the stuff they did to me, I don't really care anymore. Sometimes people say, how do you still feel about it? I'll talk about it, and I'll bring it up. But I mean, I'm not sitting there every day saying, oh, I went through this, and that. I've got too many other things in my life, more to worry about, as a 31-year-old adult. Still trying to balance life as best as I can, especially being a dad and a husband. But, I'm trying my best, and from what I can see so far, I think I'm doing an okay job. So, we have 2 more examples after this, and then I'll probably read off just a few more things, and then honestly, might be done with this, just maybe a quick little, this is 18 minutes now, 8 to 20, 25-minute podcast maybe, Didn't have to be anything crazy long. Video podcast, excuse me. Because, most podcasts are 45 minutes to an hour, maybe 2 hours. But, I just wanted to have a nice, little, semi-long video podcast just to talk about mental health and things of that nature, because I feel like it is important, because also a lot of people, I feel like, for some reason, don't talk about it enough, or I haven't seen them talk about it enough in a while. But anyway, how common are mental illnesses? Oh, so this says, there's a little circle over here that says 1 in 5. Let's see what this says. Oh, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so here it goes. So, mental illnesses are among the most common health conditions in the United States. More than 50% will be diagnosed with a mental health illness or disorder at some point in their lifetime. Wow. Jeez. 1 in 5, there's a 1 in 5. Okay, so the 1 in 5 Americans will experience a mental illness in a given year. Jeez. 1 in 5 children, either currently or at some point during their life, have had a seriously debilitating mental illness. Okay. 1 in 25 Americans lives with a serious mental illness such as schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, or major depression. So this actually does not surprise me. These stats. And this is what I mean by we need to get better at taking care of other people. We need to get better at taking care of their mental health. This is sad. I hate seeing this. Jeez. This might sound crazy. These numbers might say 1, but think about the other numbers. 1's actually a pretty big number. like whenever they say, back when, well, I mean, it is still very serious, but when, COVID was more of a scarce, I would say things, died down a lot. But, when they say that the masks, had an 80% chance of reducing you getting it, well, think about it. People might think, 80% is not a lot, but if you think about worldwide, 80% is a massive number, right? So think about this. 1, right? And 5 and 25. 1 is still a massive number worldwide. That is depressing. To me, that's depressing looking at this. That's just sad. That's... wow. Some people don't have outlets. Some people don't get therapists. Some people maybe aren't good at expressing themselves and talking out. Some people don't get the mental help. And you know what? Honestly, like, that's what I say to people. If you need to come to me, talk to me. Seriously, please. What causes mental illness? You know what? We're already at the 21, almost 22 minute mark. After this, we might wrap up this video podcast. Might look up another example, or I might end up just wrapping up with my own personal example, but we'll see how we feel after this. So, what causes mental illness? There's no single cause for mental illness, right? So a number of factors can contribute to risk for mental illness, such as early adverse life experiences, such as trauma or history of abuse, right? For example, that was actually about to kind of say that. For example, child abuse, assault, not going to say the real word, because I don't want to get demonetized or, get in trouble, witnessing violence, etc. Experiences related to other ongoing chronic medical conditions such as cancer or diabetes, right? Biological factors or chemical imbalances in the brain, use of alcohol or drugs, which is true. I watched a lot of intervention, and sometimes people, just might sound crazy, mentally don't always come back right all the way after all the drug use and everything that they've done. Yes, it's good that they got sober, but sometimes not all of them get lucky, like some of the miracles that we've seen before. Having feelings of loneliness or isolation. Oh, okay. Yeah, I've had that where I've been like, I have no friends, no one likes me. Why can't I get a girlfriend? I am a nice guy. Everyone hates me. I've been there before, and that's never a good feeling. But then I realized, I've got family that loves me. I do have, little close friends. I think everyone goes through the phase of, with their mental state of, I wish I was in that popular group, or I wish I was that cool kid or that cool guy. I wish I was, out always partying and getting all the girls and blah, blah, and driving all the cars, being that, oh yeah, dude. But then you realize that that's just a phase, and that ends up, phasing out, like I said, and their mental stigma of, oh, I'm so cool and I'm all that, that dies out eventually. So you realize that it's better become, a mature adult, and then once you do, we realize that's a better way to go about life. Then you realize that mentally you can handle things better, if that makes any sense. But well, to me that does personally. So anyway, especially when you realize the good things and the valuable things that you have in your life as an adult. So, all I can say is that I guess, to wrap things up, you know what, I am going to wrap things up, this video podcast up by saying what I want to say personally and finally. But I do want to say that the most important thing is talk to someone. It doesn't matter if it is a friend. It doesn't matter if it's a therapist. If you can afford a therapist, go to one, especially if they specialize, in therapy and, mental health therapy and things like that. Like I say all the time in my advice videos, go to a boxing gym, work out, shoot. Go to a place where you can adopt dogs, but go on a day where they have it to where maybe it's like a petting day and go pet dogs. Go for a walk. Go for a run. Okay. Now, here's the thing: is that yes, what I'm saying is way easier said than done. It has to be up to you to do it, but you got to do it. Like I said, it's like doing these videos like this. It makes me happy. Believe it or not, even with some of the crazy stuff I do with at work, I still do it because guess what? It makes me happy, and I love doing it, and I want to do it. Obviously, having my little sweet boy, that helps a lot. Having my amazing wife, that helps a lot. What I'm getting at is that whatever you're going through, whether that's depression, whether you're having suicidal thoughts, whether you're in a very dark place, talk to someone, find an outlet, do whatever you can to try to make yourself better. And remember, you're not alone, okay? And like I said, if you need to talk to anyone, I'm here for you, alright? You see all the time in the bottom of my description of all my marketing stuff, I have my number down there. If anyone needs to talk, please reach out to me. If you want to text me, let me know. Reach me on my social medias because, like I said, like I yes, I do marketing, advertising, but I also want to let you know that I'm here for you. I want to be that nice guy, okay? But like, please, like, I do have a, social life and private life as well. So, as a social media influencer, don't like blow up my phone is what I'm saying. But if you just want to chat every now and then, like, say, hey, so I'm going through something, I'll let you know if I'm busy, and if I am, please respect that, and then I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching this video podcast. I appreciate you all, and I love you all so much. This has been Conversation Capsules / I Master Smiles a Lot. And if you need a martial arts coach, if you need a market advertiser, if you live in St. Louis, if you want to do a photo shoot, if you want to do anything videography wise, like me videotaping you from point A to point B, to help develop your business, whether you're big or small, you're trying to restart it yourself back up, let me know. I love you all, and I'll see you guys next time.